Hello, welcome to Reframing Mindset Podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to Reframing Mindset Podcast. My name is Constant Brooks. Tonight's episode we're talking about and 31st week of the 95 experience. And as I said, I mentioned around the last week, the last week episode is like that is where the things are turning around. We're becoming an OG, and I never mean that in a literal sense because I've been there a year. But basically, what happened is that the in all the things that I was learning, I was experiencing the coming up the first year, it starts to make me understand what I say a business year or a business cycle in a sense. And that's one of those things that you learn about. I guess is important in business sense as well. As I mentioned before, when I started the job, I never know how long was going to stay. I never planned. So I was planning that okay, eventually when I'm gone, the experiences will just prepare me for something else. So being here for this long was not that was not in the plan. But but as I said, if you start a business and the business world, that's how it is. Everything is random. You don't know when you're going to be fired or such like that. So you have to plan like for things like that. But what happens is that while you prepare to be fired and stuff like that, you prepare to be hired as well. As I was hired and I was a trainee as well, work my way up through it. And now I'm in a position now where there are new person that are being trained. I'm witnessing a new person coming now that are being trained. And what happened is that one of them actually shadowed me. So if you remember last week, the last episode, I talked about one of them shadowed someone that came with training. One of them shadowed me. And the thing about it is that I was actually prepared to actually give them a good run through, just like how I was taught by the person who shadowed me. So that's one of those things where I say like, bro, like when you go in the company, just go there, try to make it better and stuff like that because you're going to get, you know, you have to go in there for more than the money. The money is important. So the money is one of the motivators to actually try to do well in the work so you can maximize on the money. But next thing is the lessons and stuff like that because you never know when you're going to be put in a situation like this where a new person going to come in and be like, okay, I'm going to learn from you now. And then now you're in because you actually took the time to learn the job and stuff and doing well. You were able to actually give them good tips and stuff to that maybe get them started better than you started. You know, that's tough. So what I said, these things, in the starting of business sense as well, where you when the business is set up, that's, all people is not gonna work there forever. So you have to actually look to actually rehire, replace people and stuff like that. And then this is the what would be the 1 year cycle of how the business will go. This so this will be the basic 1 year cycle of how the business will go from training up until they start doing the work, and then boom, you start hiring new people because maybe 1 year by around this time again, this around the 31st week, this time again, people will start be looking at okay, I'm looking for better opportunities and such like that. Leave, so you have to be able to replace them and such like that. So I guess being this far kind of taught me the business cycle. Kind of taught me the business cycle and such. The next thing is what the coffee, bro. So I was, if you realize, I was kind of relying on the coffee to get through the night shift. What happened was that they're changing the machine some days where like you need a mug to actually get the coffee. So this time I have to actually carry a cup this time to maybe those on those days I can actually get some Coffee. Yeah, but as I mentioned, that for the night shift, my shift changed again, so it's still kind of ending the night, but it's earlier this time. So it's it's good and bad in a sense. It's good because I'm going to come home earlier now. So I think it's the shift is a better time for me, given how the long. But the thing about the thing about shifts and stuff is that no matter what time you get, it's always 8 hours. And what happens is that the burnout always happens in the work because you don't really have time. You don't give you the time to actually go and say, okay, I can come off the job and just chill or stuff like that. No, you're actually there doing the work all day. So no matter how early, if you get the morning shift or the day shift or night shift, your the fatigue will hit. The fatigue will hit. So I will just get this new shift and I can't tell if it's going to be better or not. It's just that I have to just expect the only good thing is that even early can have me reach home early so I could actually do more things in the night. So and maybe get more sleep as well so I could actually reach. So I guess that's one of the good things about doing this part of it as well. Mm. And the next thing is also, yeah, what I realized, going in this week was teamwork make the dream work. That's what That's one of the thing about as a competent company and stuff like that. Teamwork makes the dream work. And what I realized was that being ingrained in the company, so now getting help from people that are there longer term and know stuff. And they're not maybe there, but they know certain stuff that I don't know. I could just basically just call on them, boom, and they give me the answer real quick and I'm just so me. I'm learning exponentially faster now, as I have people that have been there, know the job, and just be like, bro, when I just call on them, be like, yo, and it's because I'm become more known in the company. And be like, okay, calling, yeah, come ask for help because they know that because internally they know that okay, that betters the company. So that's one of the things that I realized as well. When you start a company, you have to make you buy into the vision. So if it's a company like this where I say, okay, it's not one of those company where I would be like, okay, try to be one of the something that but one of the best companies that I would want to work in forever. But they have the core thing down where be like, okay, after a while, the company culture is is something that they're working on to say, okay, yes, it- it's not the best, but we're getting better. We're getting better each year and stuff like that. So those are things. So all those times that I was, uh, it's actually I'm getting used to it now and get used to it and see reaping the benefits of all those times of hard work or such like that. That's why I see it. So as I said, a lot of things learning this 31st week, I never got that big bonus again because as I said this week I ended that that stats that I work hard to get that one time, never get it again. So actually just working on like doing well on the call, getting people to understand me more and stuff like that, and just I guess and the plan just try to stay here for basically 1 year and just save as much as I can and save and plan and stuff like that. Because the next year, how I'm looking at it is that so the part of it was me just trying to maintain and stay in a job now. This phase of it now is just basically me just trying to prepare myself now because I'm reaching that second part of the year where it's getting closer to my day of birth again. So it's time to stock up and stuff to make the plans for maybe around that time around until 2024 as well. So I have to actually focus, boom, make the plan so that boom, when the time comes, can we just make those moves like that and be like, yo, so that's how you have to do it and such. So that's basically it for this episode. Thanks for listening. Look forward for the next episode. Mhm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/CSSB support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
Fun icebreakers. As you know, these are one of those weird stuff that I think is really weird. Because when I'm on the side that is actually do the we call the icebreakers and stuff, it's really weird. It's really weird. But you know, and I see it in the company where they have these stuff, this random stuff, like prize giveaway, where basically if you do certain well, they give you a prize and all kind of random stuff. And what happened is that I realized that this is a company that type of company that not really really recognized as relevant and such like that. That's it. But internally they are doing things to actually kind of boost morale so that the company